Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today I want to talk to you about Tesla, because Tesla sucks, and not for the reason you think. So here I am, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking I'm going to do a video on Tesla and why I don't like them. But really, it's not that I don't like them, it's just that they are so far ahead of everyone else, sometimes it's even hard to comprehend. So, why is Tesla so far ahead of everyone else? Well, I think they want to be further ahead than everyone else, and unlike other people, what they've come up with works. And when it comes to electric cars, I just want to tell you right now, there is only one electric car in the market that works everywhere. I'm not talking about Southern California, down in Texas, around the equator, where it never gets cold, where it's nice out all the time. Lots of electric cars work in those environments. But there's only one electric car that works where it gets cold, where I live. And where I live, it gets cold. It gets to minus 40. And minus 40 is the same in Fahrenheit as it is in Celsius. And it's minus 40 Celsius, and I gotta go to work, and I want to use an electric car. There is only one car in the market that actually will work. And the reason for that is Tesla makes cars that go 500 kilometers on a charge. So recently there's a great big huge thing that happened. It was called Battery Day. And Tesla stock went down. Everyone said, boy, that was stupid. No, Battery Day was one of the most amazing things I've ever watched. I am not an engineer. I am not a chemist. And I had to watch a few things a couple of times, and I was like, how could I really explain how big this was for Tesla as a company and for electric vehicles as a whole? So, this, and I decided to do it with a piece of paper. This is a 2170 battery, okay? 21 millimeters across, 70 millimeters down. It's a circle. It's in a cylinder, and this is the battery pack and a little battery, and they put a whole bunch together and they run their vehicles. That's how it works. The power walls, everything. Now the chemistry inside is different, but we'll get into that in a second. And what they've come up with is a new kind of battery. And the new battery is this big. So it was this big, and now it's this big. Hopefully you can see. 4680, 2170. The volume of this battery is 5 times greater than the volume of this battery, approximately. But this, area around and stuff, this only used 2.1 times the material. So you get 5 times the volume for only 2 times the material. But more importantly, because of their new technology on the type of what they're putting inside the battery, you get 10 times the distance. So this battery, which is twice as big, goes 10 times further. So think about that. That's really a 5x battery. So you took the same space. So if a one battery, if this little battery, this battery got you 1 kilometer. Okay? Now you get 10 kilometers. For the same amount of space. That's basically what they did. So the other thing I wanted to do, and I just did it with a piece of paper. This is the area of a 2170 battery. Okay? If you make a cylinder like this and you take it apart, this is the area. Okay? And this is a 4680. See the difference? Okay? So this is something that they've done that's absolutely amazing. How did they do this? Why don't other people do this? I'm sure the other automakers are doing something like this because I've seen lots of stuff out there about the kind of things that they want to do, but quite frankly, I don't think it's going to work. The next thing I need to talk about is what they put inside their batteries. And I think at this point in time, Tesla has figured out how to not use cobalt, or very little of it. And this is very important. Cobalt is extremely expensive and if you can think of something negative, cobalt's got it. So they figured this out. And so the last thing about their batteries that I want to talk about is they figured out that, you know what? If we're going to do storage, power walls, big storage areas, wind and solar going into the storage giving it back out to the grid when it's dark and cold. I have solar panels, people. Powers my house, and then it goes to the grid. Gets used, and then I suck back whatever when it's dark. I have no storage. Tesla's storage has to be mounted outside where I live, can't be inside in your basement, and it doesn't work if it's colder than -20. So the composition of the batteries for the power walls and storage is completely different than what they're using in their cars. This is brilliant. And the reason for that, well, why'd they do that? Why don't they just make one battery? It'd be more efficient if they only made one. Just make these and put them in everything. The reason for that is a power wall is mounted on the wall, just like it says, power wall. It's mounted on a wall. You know what? It's not going down the road. It's not hitting potholes. It's not slamming on the brakes. So the composition of the battery doesn't have to put up with force. You know what force is, right? Force. So that composition can be different, and you could do it in such a way that it's more efficient to store the energy and get the energy back out again. More efficiency, more cost effective. Storage will actually work, because I'm a big proponent of we have no storage. It's one of the reasons green and all the greens out there, you can just go home and cry because there's no storage. It's not going to work. I don't know what I'm going to do in December, January, February, March. Cold where I live and not very much sunlight. Okay? Gee, I think we get down to 6 hours and 50 minutes. So that's one. So brilliant. So the power walls will come down in price, and they'll be able to store more energy and supply more energy, i.e. power your house longer. Okay? Not to the point where you can get rid of natural gas to heat your houses. I'm sorry, that's a long ways away. But, we can put scrubbers and stuff to make sure that no CO2 in the air. So that can be resolved and still use that. 2, the cars. So the composition for the cars. This battery. They're going to put these in the cars. They're going to make it part of the structure. Incredibly smart. I don't know why they didn't do it at the beginning, but anyways, I think they take out 300 kilograms of weight by doing this. This is just phenomenal. But more importantly, the composition of the battery is different. And the reason it's different, you need to take off and do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 2 seconds, which you don't need to do, but boy, that's all people talk about. And if I have to listen, look right here, guys. If I have to listen to one more person talk about a car that's not in mass production, that goes faster than a Tesla, or does a quarter mile faster than a Tesla, or whatever, stop it. It's not in production. It's just not. And if it's not, as far as I'm concerned, I don't care. It doesn't count. They're producing 25,000, 100,000 of these a year, and they've been on the road for a couple years. Then we'll talk. And quite frankly, I would never buy a car based on how fast it does in the quarter mile or 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. I want to know how fast it goes from 120 kilometers an hour to 140 kilometers an hour when I'm on the highway on a 2-lane road and I got to pass a transport. How fast does it do that? That's important. The rest, just, I don't know why, but everyone focuses on that. And that's fine. Gets people talking. So, and the last type of vehicle, and this is where it's really, I can't stress this enough, which may just push Tesla so far ahead that at the time of this filming, the CEO of Ford Motor Company has resigned or retired. The other OEMs out there better be crying, they better be concerned. Because for transportation, i.e. heavy trucks, delivery trucks, UPS trucks, FedEx trucks, DHL, all those kinds of things, semi-trucks, that kind of thing, where you got to move stuff down the road. This battery, the phosphorus setup that they're going to use for this, and this 4680 battery gets them to where they need to be for that to work. Okay? And forget about the planes and all that kind of stuff. That ain't happening. I think it'll get there to work, because I've always said, and I've told everybody, the semi-truck, whatever they got, the 2170s, is not going to work. Just not. You'd have to fill the whole bottom of the trailer full of batteries for it to work. It's just not going to work. So Tesla, you suck. Like I said at the beginning. And the reason they suck is they're so far ahead of everyone else. It's absolutely amazing. And yet there's people out there to go, oh no, this is a Tesla killer. There are no Tesla killers when it comes to electric cars. There's only electric cars. They're not making enough. As a fulfillment of this video, Tesla just released their third quarter production, 139,500 cars in delivery. I mean, what'd Ford do? 2 million? I don't think Ford does 2 million. 2 million cars in the last quarter? I mean, really? But Ford Motor Company, if you don't wake up. In fact, I think the Ford Motor Company should phone Tesla's up and get this technology and start making it. How much money do you want? How much money do you want? Have you come up with this? No cobalt 4680 batteries, part of the structure. I don't think you have. Because when the Mustang Mach-E came out and I went down to try and order one, took a month before you could even take my name. Took another 2 months before you called me back. It was an $80,000 car and I couldn't even test drive it, and you didn't even have any stats on it. As far as I'm concerned, you're out of business. Now don't get me wrong. I got a video coming up with the new Ford Escape Hybrid, and I was wanting the plug-in hybrid, but they're really hard to get. And so to finish this up, Battery Day was fantastic, and I suggest anybody go watch it. There's a certain little segment in there that you really need to watch about how they're doing their batteries and stuff like that. And I had to watch it 5 or 6 times to figure it out, okay? I'm not the smartest cookie in the jar. But as Neil deGrasse Tyson says, I'm smart enough to know enough information about something, but I'm also smart enough to know when I can be wrong about something and I need more information to make the decision. I'm not so closed-minded like everyone out there. So I wanted to put this out there. This is why I think Tesla sucks. A Model Y, where I live right now today, 500 kilometer an hour range, okay? It's the only one they sell where I live, is the long range. I don't even know why they should call it long range. You should just call it Model Y. It comes with that battery, nothing smaller. Costs $75,190 plus sales tax, delivery, destination, registration, a few other things. That car, 80 grand. 80 grand. That is not affordable. Okay? No self-driving stuff in there. That's another $11,000. This is why I think Tesla sucks. There are no cars that I can afford to buy, or anybody I know. I don't know anyone that can spend $90,000 on a car and just use that as their primary car. I take that back. I do know a few people, but I don't know anyone that wants to go and spend $90,000 on a car. 2, another reason I think Tesla sucks, their interiors are terrible. Absolutely terrible. Anyone that's test drove it, anyone that owns it, I know someone that owns one, they absolutely love the car. They've got a Model S, it's got the longest range, it's got the performance, it's got the blah blah, P100D, it's got every, I think they spent $160,000. All they complain about are seats, you know, the interior. They complain about the interior. Love the car, complain about the interior. My Lincoln, which I recently sold, and every time they got in the car, unbelievable. And honestly, message to Ford, I don't know who you got designing your seats, because I crack a joke. I think the Lincoln seats are made out of baby giraffe, because I don't know how they do it. They are the most comfortable seats in a car I've ever sat in. I don't care. Cadillac, Mercedes, BMW, blah, blah, blah. Go sit in a Lincoln seat. Like, sold my Lincoln and bought a hybrid Escape, and I would love to have taken the seats and put them in there. I don't know why they don't put them in the Ford. They're just amazing. So this is another reason why I don't like Tesla. Their interiors suck. That's the best way I can say it. In fact, if I won the lottery and I had enough money to buy a Tesla, I don't even know if I would buy one because the interiors are terrible. They're terrible. Oh, they're mad. They're terrible. So for $90,000, I want my Lincoln interior or my Cadillac interior or my Mercedes interior, my Audi interior. The Audi e-tron interior is wonderful, but it's a $115,000 car where I live. And it doesn't go 500 kilometers. So I just want to cut this off, and hopefully you Tesla fanboys can go and make a bunch of nasty comments about how you think they're the greatest things in the world, which they're not. They have production problems, their interiors are terrible, they have, but you know what, the car's reliable, it doesn't break down or anything like that, and it does go the distance, and you can charge it. So, thumbs up, thumbs down, hit the subscribe, really appreciate it, get out there, have fun, have a great day. We'll see you in the future.